I know. It's just it's like it's all. Oh, good evening and welcome along to the show. We're being really professional there. Good evening and welcome along. It is, of course, the Day Trippers. It's the club because we just don't do it on Tuesday night anymore. We got rid of the Tuesday part. It could be on any random day during the week, but it is found at home on a Wednesday night after the Champions League matches. Another Champions League win, 4-0 turned out Liverpool against Red Star Belgrade. The scores tonight, of course, were Firmino, Sala and Mane. Strangely enough, although Mane should have had more than one. Idiot. Anyway, this is, of course, the club. It's brought to you in association with RedsBet. RedsBet are a betting site tailor-made for Liverpool supporters. RedsBet aims to share half of the net profits with Liverpool supporters and fan causes, so no matter what, the fans end up a winner. Check out the odds on RedsBet.com or download the RedsBet app. Share the glory and gamble responsibly. I know we keep promising the bets that the RedsBet keep promised to send us along, but they never seem to get us in to us just before this show. If they did, I would have got Joe on a lot earlier to do a bet-a-thon with us, with the thing. Anyway, in tonight we've got a shortened crew because it is a post-match special. I've got it with me. I've got Dave Thomas coming back. Good to see you, Dave.
Thanks very much.
You caused a few waves on Twitter there during the week, and I decided that we'd may as well bring you back in so people see what you look like.
No, I'm a wallflower.
And beside him, of course, is Big Joe Walsh. Big Joe,
how you felt?
Building a profile, Joe. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Building a profile. Of course, Gav hasn't got us on guest cam, otherwise I would have been introduced us properly. He's could have looked at the guest cam and done ESPN and it would have been fantastic. But instead, he's put us on the full camera angle because he is Gavin and he just doesn't listen to what he's being told to do. Right, so look, we're going to talk. We've just won 4-0. We're all very happy in the room, sort of. Plenty to talk about, plenty of things to get through, and we're only on for 20 minutes because we want to go and finish out the rest of the podcast that you can download tomorrow on iTunes or on any podcatcher app, and the feed will be up there, and that's where you can go listen to the full brief of what we have to talk about tonight. But to get us kicked off, Dave.
Yeah.
Shaqiri.
Yeah.
Shaqiri. I'm out tonight. He's a big lad.
I love him.
He is.
I love him.
The weight to pass.
I mean, he was brilliant tonight.
The weight of his arse. It's huge.
Well, I think the big ass helps with the weight on the pass because he's got he doesn't want to be playing too many.
Before we celebrate how brilliant Shaqiri is, I was watching a picture of him training in Anfield last night, right? And I swear to God, I looked at it and it looked like a fella who was about 3 stone overweight playing the Leinster Senior League. It looks like there was a roll underneath the tracksuit top as he bent down to kick the ball. I was going, how is he even playing football? But it is. I love a little barrel. I've always loved the little barrel of a footballer. Wanted Shaqiri for years. I'm delighted that this thing is working out.
Yeah. I mean, the last barrel we had was Charlie Adams, so at least this one is working out a lot better. You know what I mean? I thought he was great. I thought he was great against Huddersfield. I thought he had a great game, and I thought he was really strong tonight, actually.
Yeah.
First 10 minutes, I think everyone was struggling a little bit with the shape, and he couldn't get on the ball. A lot of the players couldn't get on the ball. But after the 10 minutes, he ran the show. And in both the Huddersfield game and tonight, what I've been surprised at is how comfortable he is in the middle of the park. Mm-hmm. Just keeping the play taken over. I think his through balls are very good. And, we kind of talked a little bit about it offline going, well, this is what probably Oxlade-Chamberlain would have been doing if he was here. So we probably all thought Shaqiri would slot in the front three as an alternate, but actually, I think this role at the front of the midfield behind the 3 lads ahead, he looks made for it. Which I'm surprised at because I wouldn't have said that before he came in.
Okay, Joseph.
Yeah, I'd agree with Dave said. I didn't think he would be as comfortable in that position. It's like Fekir. Obviously, never happened. So he's slotted in. He's probably a poor version of Fekir. I don't know. People mightn't agree with that, but in games against the likes of tonight, Huddersfield, Cardiff, where you'll have a bit of space, I think he's very effective. If up against top sides, I don't think Klopp will play him in that position because he's not going to get the time or the space to play them passes. But for games like that where they're tight and we're lacking, so since Coutinho went, where we had 3 workhorses in midfield, I think he is now our playmaker that will play and get us on the ball and incisive passes.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's got a great, obviously because he's small, low centre of gravity, he's very strong, hard to knock him off the ball. I think his technique is a little underrated as well. I think his first touch is very good, his passing is very good, can use both feet. I agree with Joe. I don't know what his ceiling is. Like, can he actually
It's not that high. It doesn't need to be. He lives in a hobbit hole somewhere just inside Stanley Park. If you go and meet all the Shaqiri.
I mean, let's be honest. In a year from now, he's going to need a double hip replacement. So, I mean, let's just play him while we can, you know, because
he'd be like one of those dogs.
On those hips,
like, you know when the dogs lose their back legs and they put them in like
just dragging himself along, like, you know,
in a Zimmer frame with wheels. Just see Shaqiri wandering around the pitch on a Zimmer frame with wheels.
His calf muscles are going to burst out of their skin there.
Ridiculous calf muscles.
I still don't understand though.
How could they be that big?
Yeah, in the jersey, but when he takes off his top, like he's toned and I don't know what the jersey is. His shoulders are just freakishly big or something, but his jersey just looks like he looks like a little barrel. But then I don't think he's as big as he looks.
I think when he walks, like he's carrying 2 carpets, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like that. So that's part of it. You know, like, so I think that makes him look a little bigger. And then I think, you know, everyone goes to the gym, right? And there's parts of your body where they're like, oh, I wish I could just focus on that. Well, he's obviously struggling to put muscle anywhere other than his legs. You know, he's like...
Legs day is every week.
No, he's probably skipped leg day for a year and he still can't put on this. Still won't just go in there. It's like, oh man, he must be so frustrated. But I don't think he is as big as that. But he was very good tonight.
Okay, boys. I think the one thing that Shaqiri seems to be able to reinvigorate is Sala. He looks to be. He's starting to find that form again. We're into the spell that we sort of saw last year, where he came through the initial 9-10 games, where he was missing loads of chances. This year, he didn't seem to have many chances. Yeah. But all of a sudden, he's starting to find his name on the score sheet again. Scores at the weekend, the winner at the weekend. This one gets the opener. No, Firmino gets the opener, but he gets the crucial one just at half time, and it's a penalty. Thankfully, he's able to take a penalty, which is a big one. And then we just roll on from there. Like it's 2-3. They're the crucial goals. They put the tie to bed, and it just sets it up for everybody else. Is there now is there a point that Salah needs that type of player behind him? Like we were very workmanlike with Milner, Henderson and Wijnaldum when they played in there as a 3 or whatever was playing there. Whereas tonight there is that bit of dynamism. I know you said you wouldn't necessarily play him against the bigger sides, but you do need that dynamism. Yes. Dinosaurus Rexus type player that can take
a dinosaur. That's what
it's Tyrannosaurus Rex type player that takes it through midfield and just rips shit up. But he does what he does because he's basically attacking the lines from midfield. It does create the space for Salah to operate in.
Yeah, definitely. Left full defenders have obviously worked on Salah, and he's not the unknown sort of quantity was last year. So I think Salah's just getting a lot more attention. So if he's not spot on with his game, he's not producing the goods. Whereas, I think Shaqiri is helping him a lot. I still think Salah's even tonight. Some of his touches, he's I don't know, he just doesn't look 100%, but maybe 2 goals tonight, goal the weekend. You'd hope he kicks on. He had a slow start last season, so I'm hoping he kicks on. I just think defenders are sort of bang wide to what he was doing last year, sort of going, making the run and dropping in, getting the ball and cutting inside. They're not really letting him do that this season, but listen, it's 3 goals in the last 2 games. So
I think that with Salah, you know, sometimes the numbers paint a different picture of the season he had last season. You know, Salah missed a lot of chances, you know, and he had games where he was scruffy and he, you know, misplaced passes, but he was clinical at important times. And I think we've seen that this season. You know, he's clinical at important times. I think it's been overplayed, the drop off. I don't think he's even dropped 5% in terms of performance levels, you know. I remember going into the season last season, right? First of all, none of us expected him to have the season he did, and we were all looking at Mane, and we were so pleased that Mane was back because we missed him the year before, and Mane comes in, but Salah ended up taking a lot of the pressure away. But I don't think Salah went games where he was impeccable. I mean, I think the City game late in the Champions League is probably one of his better games, but he's always got this style where he misses the easiest chance but scores a harder chance. You know, he's always had a bit of that about him. Do you remember Suarez in his first 2 seasons where like he seemed to hit the post every game and like it just clicked for him then? And I think Salah does that in season. He kind of starts off a bit scruffy, then works it up. But specifically on the Shaqiri thing, I think it means the Sala doesn't have to come as deep to get the ball.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes the difference. Whereas against Huddersfield and against some teams where, you know, maybe we've played a workman like midfield or we've played Sturridge, he's having to come deeper to get the ball.
But isn't this? But this is how you build form through a season. Like we've gone out, we looked at these games after the Napoli result, and you're saying, right, you take 6 points against Red Star Belgrade, and you're actually in a great position in the group. You're gonna have 9 points going into your last 2 matches, knowing that one win guarantees your qualification, or avoiding defeat in those 2 games guarantees your qualification, and potentially even a draw and a loss still guarantees your qualification because you've got 10 points. Very rarely does a team not qualify out of a group in a Champions League.
Particularly with the 3 teams that are in there, because they're all going to take points off each other. So no one's going to run points.
And Napoli have dropped points against Red Star, which no one expects, so that's the 6 points are vital against.
Exactly.
Okay. Come here, I want to move on, but before we do, we'll just have a quick go of the random wheel. There's not as many things, so let's see what's happening on the random wheel thing. No penalties, lads. It's just handy that it turned out to be no penalties. But lads, 2 penalties, 1 scored, 1 missed.
And 1 nearly missed. I mean, Salah's penalty was terrible.
It goes in the back of the net, that's all that matters. But look, I'm looking at what I'm asking on this one is, Mane's penalty, it's actually a pretty decent save.
That's
it was a good save. Yeah, and I agree with Dave. Salah's was just smacked the son that was nervous, taking it straight down the middle, and keep it right in the middle of the guy. The keeper that stood there obviously would have caught it, but it went in, so it's a good penalty.
Yeah, but, I mean, if we have I would have Milner on the bench every game, and if there's a substitution, you bring him on to take the penalty.
And take him back off.
They take him back off. I got no problem with that.
Special teams.
We should have special teams, of course we should. But yeah, we don't have, because all 3 of our forwards are not what you would call like strikers. They're not. They're wide forwards or converted, you know, attacking midfielders or whatever. They're not natural strikers of the ball. I know that sounds weird. They're all very good players, but they all seem to score kind of scruffy goals. That's what they score. You know, Firmino's probably the cleanest of them. He'd probably be the one I was most comfortable taking a penalty.
Yeah.
But actually, the person who should take it is fucking Van Dijk or
Trent
Alexander-Arnold.
Genie.
Or Genie or something.
I think it was.
But he's Dutch.
Yeah, true.
Alexander-Arnold should be our penalty taker.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, now I know
He's not first choice anymore.
Alisson. I'm all for Alisson taking the penalties.
I don't know. He'd probably try a Cruyff turn and fall over.
No, I'd go for Alisson taking the penalties. If you can ping a ball 75 yards along the deck and mean it.
I just don't think it needs to be a forward. I think it could be.
And now forwards are overrated on penalties.
I just don't get it. Like, give it to someone who can practice it. Can, you know, as I said, Alexander-Arnold has a great free kick on him. A great set piece. Delivers corners. Fucking let him take penalties.
Lads, look, you know, it should have been 5 because Mane should score. Like, you expect to score the penalty, but we did get the Mane one. We should have had another penalty. Mane gets shoved over.
That's a penalty.
It's like, it's really a case of, well, I've given you 2, I'm not giving you a 3rd. I'm just taking the piss now at this stage. But that's a clear penalty. But I'll bring it back. Fabinho, his 4th start in the Champions League. I know it's not his 4th start, but it's his 4th start in a proper game as opposed to the Carabao Nightmare Star Cup game. But he's got huge feet, hasn't he? Those pink boots, like they don't, like, if you want to disguise your feet, they're the wrong type of boots to be wearing. They're like little small canal boats floating around the pitch.
He's like Sideshow Bob.
Yes,
you know. Let's be honest, like, you know.
Yeah, I was very impressed with him tonight. Thought it stuff that I saw previously with him. I know I've watched him 40, 50 times.
Did you? Yeah. Every minute.
No, I've seen him a few times. That's the type of player I saw where winning tackles, breaking down attacks, and then he can carry the ball. He's fast. It reminds me a bit of Vieira when I seen him the bit at Monaco that I did. That sort of powerful, long strides, bringing the ball out. We saw a bit of that tonight. I think he will be first choice within a month or 2, but whatever the reason, Klopp is just slow, like Robertson, just slowly bringing him in for whatever reason, just to get up to speed with the rest of them. But
I agree with Joe Houllier here. He's the new Vieira.
Yeah,
new Vieira. No, he was very good tonight. Now, I don't think it's interesting the way people have been excited to see him. I don't think he did a lot today that Henderson doesn't do when he plays there, or Wijnaldum or whatever. But what I think he's got a great engine on him. He's physical. Better with his feet than I thought he was going to be in the little bits I seen of him, because he looked a bit, I mean, in one breath you're like, oh, he looks a bit like Vieira, but then you worry he could be like
Well, according to,
Biscan or something. Like, you know?
according to lads coming in here with the stats, because the stats are important, he won 18 of his 24 duels.
I don't even know if that's good. Is that good?
I don't.
18 out of 24.
That's
like,
75%.
75%. Is that good, Joe?
Yeah, take that. Well, Clavan.
Did he have 24 duels like in that game?
Needed Ocean's 11 didn't win that many duels when they raised it.
I don't get it. I don't understand. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, all right. There we go. He won 75% of his duels. Now, if that was Henderson, it would be like he only won 75%. He lost 25%.
Does anyone know
against that team? You know?
Anyone know what his small XPS is, which is pass sideways? Was for tonight against.
I think it was 0.9.
Was it? Yeah,
it was 0.9.
That's it.
Like that,
interesting.
But
I have to say, because I may have bantered that I was starting to call him Christian Fabinho Olsen. I have to say,
I was wrong.
Yeah, I think I saw something on Twitter. You calling him as you do in your non-hyperbolic way of like the worst signing, the most pointless signing ever, or something, wasn't it?
Was that? Did I use him or did I use somebody else?
No, definitely him. The most pointless signing
Keita, no?
of all
No,
time.
Keita. No,
No, it was Fabinho.
was it? Yeah,
Yeah.
was it?
Look, you could have done both.
I could have done.
Let's be honest, like, you know? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Keita, I stand by. Like, you know, people were saying like the based on. Well, I'm thinking 50 million. I'm thinking starter. I'm thinking having a massive impact. And when none of that
I think
happens,
what we've seen is it's a difficult side to come into, right? Yeah.
I don't want to give out with this. Well, all I want to say is that the midfield tonight did look fairly good.
Yes,
it had a lovely balance.
Because they had defined roles as well.
Yeah.
Like Fabinho played at the base, Shaqiri played at the top. And you know, Wijnaldum is a box to box. That's where you'd want to see him. So I was pretty happy with it tonight.
I love when you're happy, Dave. I love when you're happy.
I'm always happy. Mate.
It's the most important thing. I know when life.
I'm
is
even
good.
happy when Lovren plays. You know, so it's all right. Like, you know?
I know the only thing is Milner was missing. How do you shoehorn him back into that midfield?
I don't think Fabinho starts against Cardiff.
No.
You know, that's the change I think you'll probably make.
Yeah, that's what I'd expect. Yeah, just
Milner comes back in for Fabinho.
Yeah.
Well, you do have to get a second passport for those boots. They're so big. And to get a docking licence down in Cardiff to get them in.
I mean, we're like the midfielder, so he may keep Milner back and give Fabinho another go against Cardiff.
But these are the games. I argued this the last week. These are the games that you wanted to see Shaqiri get a run in. You want to see Fabinho get a run in. If Lallana is going to get some game time, these are the games you want to see him play in. Yeah. You know, like sending the three out, seeing Firmino back tonight and seeing him play as well as he did. That's great.
Yeah,
right.
Let him go again now.
Yeah,
you know?
look at Sturridge. Sturridge comes on. He has an impact in this match. I'm loving this version of Sturridge where the fella comes in and he has an impact and he's not picking up the injuries. It was your point about Lallana's run through towards the end, the brief cameo. He comes in, bursts through the middle, and we were just waiting for him to pull his hamstring or something like that as he stretches to get the ball. And that's the disappointing thing. We're just waiting for the injury to happen.
Well, I think that what we've got now is a squad where, you know, our old friend Damo Flood, God rest his soul, he always used to say, you buy people to put your starters on the bench, right? Yeah. And that's what we did with some of our signings, is that we can put the likes of Lallana and that on the bench. So I think it's good to see so many squad players. I wouldn't have Sturridge starting. I just don't think the system is set up for him. But I'm a little worried about us in the midfield, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of youngsters get a go, actually.
But should you be worried about the midfield?
I don't know. I mean, I think that
Are we over worrying about this?
Well, Henderson's out, Keita's out. You know, Milner can't play every game.
No.
So then you are down to Wijnaldum.
But you have 2 or 3, don't you?
Yeah,
Cardiff,
not for Cardiff. I don't mean for
Henderson
Cardiff.
is definitely missing the Cardiff game. Yeah. Right? They've already said that, so they're not going to risk it.
Longer, actually.
So you're probably looking at 2 of the 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so you've got 2 or 3, which actually puts you in a relatively decent spot in terms of squad with 2 to come back in.
And if Lallana gets to a fitness level where he can play in the midfield, then great.
And then you've got Shaqiri and you've got Lallana to battle in that sort of attacking midfield spot, and then you've got Sturridge to step in for one of the top 3. The only problem with having Shaqiri now in that position is that you potentially are losing your cover across your top 3 end.
Yeah, I still think it's important that he's going to be used to help out the front 3 rather than the midfield, because I'd agree with Dave. Sturridge is grand coming on for these 10-minute cameo roles. I don't want Sturridge near that starting 11.
Yeah, I agree.
Nowhere near it.
There's a romanticism about him, and I get it. But on the facts, he isn't. It's not even that he's not good enough. I don't mean it that way. It's just the system is not for him.
No.
He can't play that
Exposes
system.
all his weaknesses.
Yeah.
And I'd still... But he's a good squad player.
Yeah. Give him 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm totally happy with that.
You saw against Chelsea, that point that could go a long way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's mad to think that we're missing, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Henderson and Keita, who arguably would be his first choice midfield. So we're missing our first choice midfield. Now, it wouldn't necessarily be the fans' first choice, but I think it's his.
Just want to wrap on the defence. Weren't really tested tonight. You've got, but again, it's another clean sheet. That's our 418th clean sheet.
Haven't conceded a goal since 1982.
I know, it's impressive, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, but look solid. That's my first choice back four personally, but I don't think it's Klopp's. But they weren't tested tonight. Gomez, Van Dijk, Cruz through the game. Robertson, brilliant going forward again. So
I think it is his first. I just think he thinks he can't play Alexander-Arnold in every game.
Yeah.
I think it probably
But he's only 15.
So if he had to pick one game, and he only had to pick a team, and he had all his players, I think that's his first choice. But I think he goes, and Gomez has been brilliant at right back as well, and Lovren's a very, 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 very good centre half. So but Gomez is centre half. I mean, we were talking about it earlier. It's like, fucking give the guy a 10-year contract. I mean, how much have we struggled to sign centre backs, and suddenly now we have two, world-class centre backs playing together, completely covering each other, and we've got Gomez as well.
Well, the beauty of having you on tonight, Dave, was really to talk about Lovren when we get into the next section. But I will say, Gomez, the one thing that really impressed about me about Gomez, we saw the Red Star Belgrade player in the last 10 minutes break towards the Liverpool box, look like he had 2 or 3 yards on him, but the recovery pace, if you put Gomez, and it's the same with Van Dijk, put them over a 10-15 yard sprint, and their recovery pace, they aren't great off the mark, but their first 5 yards ain't great, but their last 10 yards is absolutely fantastic.
Well, the difference between them is that I don't think I've ever seen Van Dijk have to recover. He's just a little bit smarter, whereas Gomez physically can do it.
Yeah.
Van Dijk's quick, but Gomez is lightning. I mean, absolutely so fast. I mean, he covered that ground. As you say, he's got 3 or 4, 5 yard, head start, and he still catches him and wins the tackle and passes the ball. I mean, can't do better than the Skirtle slide. Remember the Skirtle slide?
Oh,
the match of the day Skirtle slide.
Yeah. I do. I was the cameo that Moreno had on. He had a couple of lovely back hills and flips. I know people get annoyed with Moreno, but at the same time, I do miss the ninja tackle. I used to love the ninja tackle. The wrong side of the player. Fly about 3 foot off the ground, 2 feet.
I not missed the Skirtle slide, but that's what it used to make me laugh. He would have, conceded to, given away a penalty, and then in the 80th minute he'll come sliding across into the advertising board and get up as if.
And
like
a big round of applause would echo around and say, "Look at that hard man."
No, he's terrible.
Right, we'll move it along into the podcast. Anyway, Gav, throw me up there for a sec so I can say goodnight to everyone. Cheers. Right, look, that is, of course, our little brief hiatus into what the podcast is about. You can find us on iTunes, it's LFC Day Trippers, and you can also find us on all the podcast apps. We're on Spotify, we're on everything, literally everything. We're on all the podcast apps. So, but the longer form of this will be out tomorrow morning. It'll actually be out about 12:30 when I finish editing it this evening. And it'll be there for you in the morning. You'll see it being pushed along. So if you can, subscribe, listen, and come back with your feedback, any ideas, any things at all, we're definitely on. And also, if you're Dublin based and you fancy having a go at this, get in touch with me, either through the Day Trippers Twitter site, the Facebook page, or my own personal accounts as well. And we're definitely looking to bring a bit of new talent in, younger people. And if there's any women, if there happens to be any women out there that wants to get involved, by all means get in touch. We'd love to have you in as well, just to sort of lend a different voice to this whole thing. So anyway, that's it for tonight. We will see you again next Wednesday, pre-recorded. This is the modern technology is amazing. But it'll be pre-recorded, and the pod will be out Wednesday. Cop Table is out Friday evening, and I believe Steve-O was live with the final whistle on Saturday as well. So the final whistle is coming back. I think he's with Dave Thompson this Saturday as well. And then I think you'll also have a bit more details on the bit of work we're doing around the Sean Cox appeal as well. So that's it. As I said, you can hear the rest of this podcast on iTunes and all the podcatchers in the morning. Subscribe, and we'll talk to you then. Find us on Twitter. Good night. God bless.